Hello. I wanted to take today to talk about doubt when it comes to our magical practice. I feel like there are a lot of newcomers to magic, a lot of people who have decided to explore magic, which I think is great. I think a lot of people have decided to incorporate magic into their activism, into their protesting, use it as a way to feel, to get some more control and a feeling of control over their lives, and I'm all for that. I think that's great. I think that with that, when you first come to magic, that there is often this moment of where you're standing around a altar and you've got your candles going and you're doing your spell, and you come to a moment where you might have this thought of, what the heck am I doing? Is this even real? Am I just playing pretend? And I want newcomers to know that that doubt never really goes away. It crops up a lot of times, not a lot of times, but the longer you go about it, the less often it will crop up, but it will still crop up. And I thought it would be nice to talk about what you can do to deal with that sense of doubt and in your magic practice, so that you don't feel like giving up or putting it aside, or not continuing with your practice if you want to continue with it. And I think that first we talk about what it feels like to feel that doubt, that you feel like maybe magic isn't real, or that you start doubting yourself. Maybe you are not a good enough witch to make these spells work. Maybe you haven't had a lot of success with spells, or not seen a lot of success with spells, and so you start feeling like, why am I wasting my time on this? Why am I putting in the effort? What is wrong with me that it's not working? Especially if you're scrolling Pinterest or Instagram or Witch Talk, and you see all these other people talking about their successes, it can get very easy to start doubting yourself. And I think that there's two steps to figuring out how to deal with this doubt. I'll be honest, I have, over the last few months, I've dealt with doubt creeping into my practice, where I'm working hard and I'm putting in the effort, and I am seeing some results, but maybe not the dramatic results that I was expecting, because I figure I've been a practicing witch for 20 some odd years. Why am I not seeing these grand results? And so when you feel that doubt creeping in, when you feel it taking over or kind of nagging at you, it helps to do two things. First, to ask yourself, what about what you're doing is causing that doubt? Is this societal pressure, or leftovers from a religious upbringing that may have cast magic as evil, or as something that people can't do? Or is there this skepticism of, well, magic isn't real from a scientific standpoint? Where is this coming from? To pinpoint it, you have to pinpoint it before you can deal with it. Also ask yourself, if it's that your spell work isn't seeing results, it's time to look at your spell work. Look at what are you doing? Are you doing the mundane actions to support your spell work? Are you putting in that effort? Are your expectations realistic? Which I know it seems counterintuitive to talk about realism when we're talking about magic, but as I kind of point out in my book, A Witch Is, you're not going to sprout feathers and wings and fly. You're not going to manifest becoming a superstar overnight, stuff like that. So realism, is it grounded in expectations that can be attained? Because again, spell work is supposed to be in support of your mundane actions. So if you aren't doing the mundane part of it, where the rubber hits the road, then your magic is just, you're basically at that point just wishing. So go over those kind of, think about where this is coming from, where this doubt, what are you doing when you have these doubts? Could it be that you are participating in magic and ritual that doesn't feel authentic to you? Like, are you doing something because you read it in a book or because you saw it on Witch Talk and it's not something you feel comfortable with? If you don't feel comfortable with it, you are not going to have confidence, and so you're absolutely going to doubt what it is that you're doing. So once you have narrowed down what it is that is feeding this doubt and having it pop up, then you can actually start to address it. So if it's things like your spells are not doing what it is you want to do, that's when you go and you do your let's look at my spells, let's look what I'm doing, let's look what I'm if I'm putting in the mundane effort. I am a big proponent of keeping a book of shadows or a grimoire or a journal, whatever you want to call it, where you write down the spells that you're doing and what the results are. Because what this does, one, it allows you to diagnose if your magic is not working, what might be happening. But two, it allows you to start building what I like to call a confidence list, where you can mark out, highlight, use sticky tabs or highlighters or washi tape or, decorative markers or whatever to mark out those spells that do work. So that when you start feeling that doubt, you can go back to your journal or your book of shadows or your grimoire, whatever you call it, and you can say, oh, but I did this and I did this and I did this. Yeah, magic does work. It is working for me. I'm just running into a speed bump here, or I'm running into a dry spell. And then you can go and start diagnosing why you're having that dry spell. Another thing, if this sense of doubt is coming from the fact that you were raised religious, or society tends to denigrate magic and say it isn't real, it's just wish fulfillment or something like that, then you can start going into using things like affirmations, where you affirm to yourself, I'm a magical person, I am a witch. That's a very powerful affirmation. I'm a witch. My spells work. My spells bring results. Something like that. Make yourself an affirmation that you can use so that when those doubts start creeping in, start attacking you, you can just push them away with that affirmation. Doing some meditation to get to the root of it and turn that around, where you face this doubt, personify it, make it, imagine what it looks like, and then face it down in a meditation where you are then beating it back, using your affirmations as a shield and a sword to then defeat it. Which ties into my third point of, if you are having this doubt, especially if the doubt is coming into, magic isn't real, lean into it. Lean into it and turn that back on itself. So what? What if magic isn't real? What harm am I doing by doing this spell? What harm is it for me to engage in this thought process? Who does it hurt if I light a candle under the full moon to wish for the downfall of the Trump administration or any despotic administration? What harm does it do? Especially if you are coupling your magic with mundane actions. So, what's the difference between that and a Christian praying to God for something? So don't let the doubt get to you. examine why this doubt is creeping in, figure out what the source of it is, and then work magic on it. Cast a spell for more confidence in your spell casting abilities. I mean, we're witches. If we aren't going to use magic to help us solve our problems, then what's the point? So I hope that this is helpful. I hope that you find that this helps you shift your perspective when those doubts start creeping in. And I'm hoping that you're having a wonderful day. And just remember, however you're practicing your magic, it's okay. As long as it's true to yourself, you're not hurting anyone else, it's aligned with your morals and your ethics, go ahead and do it. It's awesome. All right, I will talk to you in the next video.